Hi friends, I just wanted to take a minute here to address the Department Chair Council agenda and a few items in particular on it. By now, surely you've seen that Kara has sent it out. There's a couple of things on there though that I think worth drawing some attention to before we get together tomorrow. The first one is we're planning to have a conversation about the retention report that Thomas has now given us access to. I know it's a pretty quick turnaround from when we talked about it with him in our last meeting to when we got that information to now, and it's a really busy time. So if you're like me, you maybe opened it up once and didn't really do too much with it. So my hope is that this could be a great opportunity for us to have kind of a meaningful conversation here about what we've observed in it, what's great, what things maybe we wish we could do with it that we're having a hard time doing, how we think it could function best and stuff like that. So my hope is that maybe between now and our meeting, if you've got 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes available, you can open up that report and dig around a little bit so that we can have a kind of a more meaningful conversation around the potential of that report as a follow-up to the conversation we had with Thomas last time, and maybe move that forward as kind of a tool that's useful and available to us. The second thing is, you'll notice towards the end of the agenda, there's space for kind of a reflection conversation. I know these kinds of things can have a tendency to strike us as kind of maybe a blow-off thing or something that we can just kind of put together on the fly or see how it goes. But my hope is to be a little bit more intentional with this particular conversation. I really want to dig into some of the things that went really well, not just because of the positive energy that'll create, but also because there's been an unbelievable number of challenges this semester. We've covered a ton of ground, and I'd like to sort of document some of the problems that we solved, how we solved them, which things in particular we're pretty proud of, so that we can look at those as a model moving into the future. I also think it's really important for us to look at what are ongoing problems or problems that we weren't able to solve. And so getting those three things out of this, I think, can help us to retool and refocus moving into next semester as this slow-burning immediate crisis continues. And it can also probably help us in some way to set some priorities for ourselves, our departments, our group of chairs here, as we start thinking about the spring. But I also think that it could be useful in helping us understand some of those things we do really well, some of those things we have done really well during this crisis that maybe we haven't done really well historically, or some things where we feel like maybe we could use some more support. I know those are conversations that tend to come up at the beginning of the year during our retreat, that it feels like we didn't maybe get all the time or presence of thought to document in the moment as they were happening. So I'd really like this to be a meaningful, thoughtful reflection here about what are some of the challenges we faced this semester? What are some of the things we're really proud of having overcome those challenges? What are some barriers that are still in place that we haven't overcome, some challenges we still haven't overcome? And what are some kind of longer term challenges from this semester that we need to continue working on and thinking about moving into the spring? So hopefully those two things, the retention data report and kind of the long-term look at reflection here, challenges, overcoming them, great accomplishments, things like that, will lead to two really strong conversations during our meeting. And I just wanted to take a moment here to draw some attention to them so that we can all do a little bit of mental prep work before that meeting starts to get the most out of those conversations that we possibly can. I know we're all busy. I really appreciate your time and your effort. I really appreciate all of your brains. You folks do some incredible thinking and collaborating. It's a pleasure to work with you all, and I'm looking forward to our conversation tomorrow. See you all then.